what do you pick against the Bat Rider then? I mean, old school way is to just counter the lasso, which doesn't seem to matter as much
I don't think that
anymore.
matters as much. Yeah, I think like you need to go. The thing is like the AOE on his Q now is so huge that you're just hitting everybody with it in team fights. So it feels like the counter. Well, I think the hero's OP, so the counter's banning it. But like you could argue, you know, purges like that would work, right? Like if you have Abaddon, for example, like a bunch of purges to take off all the napalms.
For lane and mid to late game, isn't Oracle just still a really good answer? I mean, False Promise takes out the lasso, but in addition, you have the Dispel for sticky napalm in lane.
It's good, yeah. It's something. It's something. But like once again, like this is all very single target, and this Bat Rider, when you play it with this like Radiant Shiva's Octarine thing, it's like you're doing tons of AoE damage.
Yeah, it's it's tricky because opening with the Pango just kind of keeps it as a bit of a question mark whether they're like, okay, we'll set it as Pango core, let's double back on an Oracle to help get the bailout, or let's keep our options open here. Maybe you want to consider something like the Beastmaster, which has had a pretty good track record against the Bat Rider, it looks like. But yeah, outside of that, it's a pretty solid early Bat pickup, especially when you see what they have on the other side already.
Yeah, Witch Doctor Pango, yeah, doesn't really do much. Doesn't really do much to Bat. Oh, let's see what carries are left. So I'm assuming they're probably if they're going to keep going down this route of bans, it'll probably be like a PL ban. Yeah, PL, like Juggernaut, Slark out. So what else can we actually counter a Bat Rider offlane with in carry position? Ursa's okay. Ursa's okay. You know, you got the jump. That's pretty good. Weaver, you know, we talked about that hero earlier. That hero's fairly solid. Bat counter.
Does Weaver have a good turn rate? I can't even remember. Do you know? I know Pango has a 1.0 turn rate, the old Heroes of Newer style. Which is why he's so amazing.
I'm not sure.
I feel like Weaver.
It feels pretty bad.
It feels bad, but I feel like Shukuchi is. Does Shukuchi actually change turn rate? I feel like it must, but maybe not.
It seems like it feels like it because it makes you so fast. But the bat turn rate thing's not a huge deal anymore because that's only with like max napalm. So you need like at least level 7 for that to be a factor. That was like a big laning thing. At least
they didn't opt to ban the PL. They banned the Veno instead. So I'm curious if A-Team find a way to sneak that PL still into their lineup, because you're right, it's probably one of the only core options left that seems to fare decently against the Bat. And look at this, Quincy crew recognized the Grimstroke from the previous game and say, yeah, we'll try that ourselves. See how it works out.
Phantom Embrace, really good against Pango. Has no good way to get rid of that.
Yeah. Lasso as well, double lasso. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, even Soulbind I would consider a pretty hard counter to Pango ult as well. As long as you can latch it to somebody. Very, very annoying.
You can flex the Pango still though, so no big deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's the nice thing about. I mean, yeah, you're quote unquote baiting out, but at the same time, Grimstroke is good in a lot of different lineups, so it's not like you're needing it to counter the Pango necessarily, right? It's just good.
There's a two-part to the bait and switch, It's like, okay, you show them the Pango and you lull them into thinking they can get these top early meta picks, but then you're supposed to hopefully pull out the answer to that meta pick. But I am not sure what that's going to be, because you're losing a lot of good options here from Quincy Crew's side. So if you end up just flexing and then, drop yourself into a bit of a pickle, and it's just a loss altogether. So, okay,
offlane counter.
Legion Commander, yeah, all right.
Maybe mid. I mean, maybe if this is a Bat mid, you do the 1v1 matchup. I've seen mid players do this one reluctantly. It's very boring, but it does do fairly well against the Bat.
I'm not going to comment anymore on Legion Commander. I think I've made my stance very clear on this hero when picked solely for the Dispel. But leave that. I've already messaged Ice Frog about it. He'll get back to me, he said.
There's some synergy within their own team, though. I mean, Witch Doctor could certainly help partake with a good Death Ward. Whoever's dueled is certainly going to eat a lot of damage. But, we got a Bloodseeker coming out.
So what you do as Pango now is you abandon the game. You pretend that you have a dentist appointment, and you try to schedule a redraft because this is unplayable now.
10 seconds
Good
remaining.
Lord. Unplayable game for Pango. I feel so bad for him. But
Tough.
I mean, position
So
4
tough.
most likely,
It-
right? So
Yeah, it's like 5 Pango now. We're just
Well-
gonna go all the way down on the economy. Witch Doctor,
it's
you're up.
It's either that or you put him as like the carry so you can get the shard just to counter all the damn counters. God damn, you gotta do something extreme here. Oof.
also have
That's-
the double rupture towards the end of Soulbind, so you can actually make use of it.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Man, we're
Interesting.
getting a little bit of everything here. I'm loving it. Faceless
Interesting,
Void.
yeah,
Turn
yeah.
the page. Turn the pages back a bit. All right.
It's a
Fill me
it's
in.
a
What's
good
going on with
Void
7.28?
game.
Yeah, what's going on with 7.28 Void though? Does this
It
man have
just-
a shard at all? What's
Yeah,
going
this
on?
guy
He
just
goes
seems-
backwards.
He goes
That's
backwards.
the shard.
Yeah,
It's
just like
horrible.
his win rate in this patch, unfortunately. But it's if there's
like
any
the-
Void game, it's good. Like
Yeah.
it counters the bat. You can get the Nyx in his Carapace. Like these supports are going to feed to Chronosphere. I don't know. I played this Bloodseeker versus Void matchup. Like he just jumps during Rupture and doesn't take damage, and then he Chronos you and you die. Like if you're a carry Bloodseeker, I don't see what you can do versus the Chrono. I actually think this is a good Void pick.
Yeah,
I'm so curious what SVG's think. And you see something like that come out, you're just like, oh, we haven't played one of those in a while. What do we do?
That's
Yeah, they
good.
don't really
That's not
have
the Void.
any kind of save for the Chronosphere. Unless, next level again, Bat Rider Shard, as long as it's towards the edge of the Chronosphere, you can save.
Get that Octarine,
Pretty-
man. Get the Ether Lens.
Wait, can you pull a teammate out of
I was about to ask.
Chronosphere?
I was about to ask the exact same.
Well, you
question.
can't do it with Earth Spirit, so I would assume it's not possible.
I don't know.
So-
you can.
Because you can't force staff either. But at the same time, you're giving them 80% damage reduction, I believe, is the number. So either way, it's technically a save. But yeah, pretty bad.
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe one day we'll see that.
Obviously, I feel like something they may have premeditated because,
5
you know,
seconds
the
remaining.
Witch Doctor Faceless Void synergy has always been something
Classic,
special of
yeah.
the past.
That's a classic.
It's
Big
true.
damage.
As long as you don't put the Death Ward in the Chronosphere itself, just remember that.
Yep.
Don't forget.
I remember when they made that change. It didn't seem it affected too many people too much since then, but it doesn't make it as easy as it used to be, certainly.
Indeed.
Oof.
Okay, we still. I think if you're going to pick this Faceless Void hero, I think you need some good, amazing synergy for it. I don't see why you would pick it right now when it's not OP. Like some snap mid or something like that. Like something that's not just the Witch Doctor. You double down on this thing. Invoker's out.
Team pick.
Can't pick that. Well, what else is there? What can we get here? Death
Well,
Well,
Man
Proc.
of
Snapfire, if
Storm.
you get the shard, you can get people out of the Chronosphere as well on your own team, Jenkins. So some
Okay.
anti-synergy. You got to be careful. You got to be careful with
True.
these picks.
True, and that is the item of choice for Snapfires these
10
days.
seconds remaining.
They're going to do... They know that Quinn is going to get a Spirit or something from mid lane, potentially, if it is going to be mid. They get the Skywrath Mage mid that just dumpster on it. Skywrath Faceless Void combo. Let's...
That would be sick,
So-
actually.
Are we assuming Bat Riders 3 and
5
then Yawar
seconds.
plays Bloodseeker? So the Quinn is the last pick here. Queen of Pain. All right, Sonic Wave. You can technically push people out of Chronosphere with that as well, I do believe. So
I think so. Yeah,
the anti-synergy is available as well.
it's something. though,
Anti-synergy
you know,
is available to them if they would like to take it.
it's nice to have options in a draft, you know.
You have options for anti-synergy. Good job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, this seems decent. The Witch Doctor plus a Queen of Pain plus like Pango Q, like that seems like enough. That seems like enough to me.
Yeah,
Just
it's
a
not
little
bad.
bit more was needed, and then this also deals with the Bat Rider. You can lane to Quap against a Bat Rider if you do think it's going to be a Bat mid.
So is it going to be a Bat mid, or are we about to see
That's
a
the
Quinn,
question.
a different
That's
Quinn
the
hero? You know,
Hmm.
Void Spirit is still actually totally ignored if they just want to run it back. Viper!
Oh,
That's not
Oh!
a Quinn hero, though, is it?
That's not a
Like-
Quinn hero. That's a green.
that's
No,
a
it's-
less. Yeah,
oh,
that's a
that-
less loud.
Leslau.
That's a less
I
loud.
mean,
Okay.
theoretically, you could have
gonna
put that
say.
mid against Quap, but I don't know if I've ever seen Quinn
Yeah.
actually play Viper.
Wow.
I-
All right, a little bit
okay.
of something different from both teams.
Yeah.
The back pocket may be out now with a Faceless Void. Gentlemen, soak it in quick and give me your predictions.
I actually like A-Team's lineup a lot more than the past game, but I'm just not a believer in Queen of Pain. I just feel like I never see this hero win ever. It's like always that last resort mid, like, oh, they've taken everything else, so I guess I'll take Queen of Pain. But Quincy Crew, I think, is just better anyway, so might not matter what the lineups are. I'll go with Quincy Crew.
I agree. I think like Queen of Pain, Void, they're bad heroes. This is a cool draft, but I see this Viper as like this zero dumpsters Void in lane, and like this was last patch when Void was OP. So I'm gonna go Quincy Crew.
All right, we'll see if Quincy Crew's last pick Viper is enough to get it done, or if the Zabo Pango is going to get A-Team their first win. Let's find out after the break. We have none other than Lyrical and GoDz to bring you the coverage.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here and the game is already underway as we are running into the jungle, but they don't find anybody. A-Team trying to take a decisive lead in this game number 2 and hopefully be able to sneak one away from Quincy Crew. How you doing, GoDz?
Doing good. How you doing, Gabe?
Oh, I'm nice. I took a break in between games to go pet my dogs a little bit. They're very happy for the company, and then I had to leave them again, so it's a little sad, but...
It was nice to have a longer break between series. I actually went outside, which is a rarity these days.
It's dangerous, man. Be careful.
Yeah. Just like walked around the block and then like, oh god, I gotta go back inside.
I can't handle it.
D.
It's far too
Everything
much.
else going on in the world, you know?
True enough.
But yeah, some very deep wards from A-Team. This to me is like a courier sniping ward, this one at the very top. You can know exactly when the courier is coming out, so you can time your move to snipe it. Also lets them know what the lanes are, although I think they knew what the lanes were regardless.
Well, and they are actually switching things up a little bit. So Ryze is heading top, and they're going to put the Bloody Sky down bottom.
Yeah, and I think this is why they wanted to make sure that the Bloodseeker is top with that ward, because they wanted to dodge the lanes. And you can't... you're basically, I don't think Quincy Crew can change their lanes. They're going to have to run across the map, and if they do, Void might follow. If you TP, Void will TP as well. So you're kind of just stuck with these lanes, I would say.
True. Well, and we'll see how it ends up working out for them. It looks like the Silence is going to connect here, which is a good amount of damage onto Ryze's there.
Yeah, I feel like you got to just give up a CS and not tank that damage, because you're going to chew through your regen very quickly if you're not careful.
Ooh.
Oh, the deny from LOA too.
Yeah, that one hurts. Man, him playing on this Grimstroke, playing a couple of these heroes that are normally seen out of the 4 role, playing in the 5 is nice. He's down bottom, down Zabo, but he's able to get the jump away afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like Zabo's going to have a rough time impacting this lane. He's a 4-position Pingo, and he's laning with a Legion. These are 2 heroes that just don't really, I feel like, synergize or lane well together at all. You generally want to have some kind of ranged harassing. You like the 4-position Pingo wants the Viper on your team, you know, something to sit behind you and protect you, do some damage. I don't feel like Legion is the best hero to pair with Pingo.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a bit of an interesting one. The nice part, at least, is like being able to take the stun off if, you know, the Pango gets caught or whatever. Keep you alive that way. It's not going to be a lot of like counter pressure potential here, like you're saying. Although Lasad doesn't have any points early into the corrosive skin at all, but he does. It's just a hard hero to deal with in general. His top, trying to get some good pressure here onto Ryze. Is going to hit the Silence afterwards, so he can't take any of that off with the Time Walk, which he already used anyways, and he's just dead.
What a combo. Hitting the Blood Ripe, hitting the Ink Swell into Stroke of Fate. It's not really what you'd consider a combo, but Grimstroke just ran in with that Stroke of Fate. Really good play. Honestly, LOA, SVG has looked like one of the most like talented 5s in all of the NA DPC. Like, watching him play these safe lanes, he just seems to win his safe lane for Yawar every single time.
He's really fresh. Like, I think that's one of the things about him too, is that, you know, they've been playing throughout this like entire pandemic. They've been one of the few teams that's sort of sticking together and working on it all. And I think that 5 is one of those positions too that tends to rely a lot more upon like the, you know, being on the same footing with the rest of your team to make good plays.
Especially your lane partner, and I think that's what we're seeing. Anytime they get aggressive, they're doing it like together. Whereas just then, A-Team tried to get aggressive on him, Witch Doctor throws a cast, doesn't bounce anything, LOA gets away, and then turns around and gets some more harass on. Like, he's just winning trades even when he's 1v2.
Really good stuff so far, at least from Quincy Crew, and trying to push back Ryzes yet again. Not an easy time for him at all. Only level 2 now, as Yawar is getting closer to 4. I mean, they had 2 rounds of range creeps denied to him.
That's been brutal, those denies, and now they're just straight up zoning them. They need to somehow find a way to get like a side pull off to pull this way back, but SVG's positioning himself. He's blocking that pull from happening. He knows that they really desperately need to pull this camp, and Old Yoda may just be dead top.
Well, Maledict's gonna connect, gonna try and do what damage they can. Turn now on to
He's got the
Rises.
tower.
He's in trouble. I think he's just dead again. Rises going to drop, and now they find Old Yoda in the trees. Nothing to keep him away, but he does manage to find an angle, although a stroke of fate. Double kill for LOA. Absolutely dominant down bottom. They're almost gonna kill off Legion too. Look at all that damage coming in onto him. Slough's still
Yeah.
chasing in, realizes he has to back out himself. Does still have that fairy fire. But strong performance so far as they hit the stun. Take him down. Another one. 0-4 for A-Team to start.
It was an even laning stage last time, and this time around, though, it looks like Quincy crew just getting the better of these lanes. Prince doing well and kind of trading evenly with Quinn at mid. Quinn had to go back to Fountain once, but Quinn's just kind of out farming him. He's just farming the lane, taking the damage and harass, and then going back to Fountain. But now that he's got a bottle and had some rune control with this haste rune, he's actually got a bit of an edge over the Queen of Pain.
Really good stuff. Yeah, and I think that Prince, you know, you need to be able to... Ooh, this would be good. How much damage can you do? Oh, Quinn trying to go for the outplay, runs away, and the slow, steady burn down tries to live. Another dagger can connect onto Quinn.
I think Quinn's
And it
dead.
looks like he's going to be out of
Oh,
there.
he's bottling. No, he's fine. He's
Yeah.
got bottle refill even. He can just bottle between ticks.
Jeez.
Has the Tango as well, so gets the bottle refill. We'll be back to lane. But yeah, Queen of Pain Prince is definitely doing well, but the problem is he's so low, and you're up against a Bloodseeker with 3 points in Thirst. This is screwing over his poor offlaners. Prince needs to make sure he heals himself back up. LOA is looking to snipe Prince. No blink. Oh, it's on cooldown for 3 seconds.
They got him caught again. In trouble. Tries to TP out. Barely able to get out of there. That was the whole bottle use, though.
Yes. And elsewhere top, UR gets gone on, but, you know, he's got all this extra speed.
Other thing about this, and I think it's like, you know, good that Prince is doing this to try and like win the lane to some extent, but the 3 points in dagger does mean it's going to be much harder for him to like catch up in terms of farming or hypothetically even making rotations. Rises, whoo, barely gets
He
back
knew he
home.
just had to TP out. Only 1 point in the time warp. I mean, can't blame him. He's just so under level. He's level 3. This Bloodseeker's about to hit level 6.
Yeah, that's
It's an
insane.
absolute stomp in top lane. And bottom lane, going a little bit better for A-Team. Legion Commander level 5 is out leveling the enemy 2 offlaners, but he's in some trouble here, as MSS will snipe a courier.
Wow, and chasing around again.
Yeah.
First
Zabo
oh.
may just has to TP.
And he does have another swashbuckle in a second. Got a bit greedy.
Yeah.
Zabo.
He was hoping to swashbuckle away. Could have just TP'd in the trees, and that hurts because that gives urn charges now. So Lelis able to use 1 urn charge to heal up, and he has another one if they want to get aggressive.
At least for now, not a whole lot going great for A-Team. The big things that I guess you can sort of count upon is their CSing doesn't actually look terrible right now, but it's more like the kills and I guess the net worth where really the problem is sort of being shown.
Yeah. And Void being forced to jungle. This is just not a jungling hero. You're not a Wraith King type who can just go make use of the jungle. They're getting picked off everywhere they go. Kill down bottom.
Ooh.
Aggression
MSS.
in mid.
He does a little juke through the trees. They find him though eventually, but still trying to run away. And they move in with Leslau now. Does have mana. The stun is there. Ooh, good coconuts bouncing. Sonic Wave will actually be enough. But I think the Queen of Pain ends up dying nonetheless. Now
both
Old
gonna
Yoda
die.
chased down as well. Leslau finds himself another couple quick kills, although saved from the Bloody Sky. Nicely done,
Nice.
and trying to get in range, but won't be able to get that duel off onto Leslau.
LOA is coming for the snipe.
Oh my god, he's coming. Old Yoda? Well, they get vision. It's not that much damage, though.
Yeah.
I think he's just got to run. Does get the double D ward, though.
Yep. Got the Observer before his sentry got taken out.
And threatening.
SVG's just such an annoying... It's going to be so annoying playing against this guy. They're going to bring in Zabo. They're going to try... Yeah, bring everyone to get this kill.
Meanwhile, though, Impale comes out to buy a little bit of extra time. Still retreating, living.
Why a lucky shot.
He's getting out of there. They're trying to bring down LOA. Will eventually find that kill. But it comes at the cost of their Legion. And now Zabo also in trouble. He will die as well.
Yeah, poor Zabo. He was just hitting, couldn't get a lucky shot, which meant they needed the slow to get the kill. He eventually gets it, but they pay a hefty price to get that kill.
Now, dude, Ywar is double the level of Rise. He's level 8 versus 4, just gets 5 now.
Yeah, I'm not loving this Void pick. It's a hero that has a very weak laning stage. There's no amazing synergy with the draft. Like, the Quap offers some damage, but I wouldn't... Like, you can get a Sonic Wave off without a Chronosphere because you've got Blink for positioning, so... I feel like the Void is... This is very much just A-Team saying, you know, our normal heroes and drafts don't work. Let's do something outside of the box, but it's struggling right now.
Truth. And I mean, granted, the lane stage is kind of devolved now, but it still feels like they need to send somebody to each of these lanes to keep them under control. And Rise is coming mid against Quinn. Like, this is going to be hard for him to hold this down and not just get dove and killed. And in fact, I think that's just going to happen as they'll go for the chase. Multiple TPs. Everybody's coming in hell away. I didn't know where to go.
That's the... They 4-man TP'd to counter respond to our aggression. You let that's the same thing we saw last game. You just let SVG die there. Quinn, you know, last game Void Spirit, this game Bat, he's got the ability to escape. You know that you're farming the side lanes, you're grabbing runes, you're just getting more out of the map. That kill doesn't help A-Team at all.
No. Well, and in fact, I mean, they could still just end up dying right now. Going back in, break, impale, flame break, dead. So it ends up working out for them in the end anyways. Quincy crew get the kill onto that Void Spirit, or Spaceless Void rather.
This Bloodseeker's level 9. He's gotten so much solo XP this game. Has a Maelstrom plus the mask coming out. Possessed mask, that is. And he's just going to be an absolute farming beast, or even a fighting beast. If he gets, you know, team fights with some thirst up, he's going to be doing so much damage.
Well, I want to see a Gleipnir. I'm down. That sounds amazing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know if it's something that they might actually go for.
Are fortified.
They do have level 6.
Yeah,
Yoda?
maybe like ultra late game you want to upgrade to it. I don't know if you go
Not
for it as
fan.
like a first item.
The dream. Chrono?
Okay.
No, he put it inside! Oh, Yoda, no! That's not the way to go. And he's dead. Oh, God. Oh, that hurt. Rises in some trouble. The roll back and forth. Zabo doing
Rises
some
just
good
hit creeps.
damage. Sonic Wave afterwards, hitting onto everybody. This is huge. MSS though moving in. The MVP player tries to make something
Quincy
happen
here.
as they're gonna pull in Rises, try and take him down dead. And Prince slowly but steadily going to burn. Ooh! All right, he's
Can
away.
Quinn get him? Flame break in a few seconds. I think Quinn is going to chase for the flame break.
Oh,
Maybe
Punch
die for
needs
this.
it.
TP out?
Yeah. Old Yoda, he gets his revenge.
Okay.
He'll take the kill.
I've been impressed by Prince's individual play. Like, yeah, he's like not doing. He's 1, 2, and 3. He's not particularly farm compared to the Bat Rider, but individually he's made some good moves.
Yeah, I'm with you there. They will find another kill. Prince has been doing some pretty solid stuff, and there's ensures that if he dies, at the very least, that rotation from the Witch Doctor, they manage to get a return kill as well.
I definitely feel like Old Yoda's been a bit outside of his comfort zone. Playing in the offlane as a 5, if you just don't have the match experience and haven't done it a lot, it can feel very, awkward. And I think we saw that a lot. They got absolutely crushed top lane, and I think that's largely because of this lane swap.
Right.
It's just like you got to play the offlane differently as a 5. The way the pulls work, the timings, the lane equilibrium, it's just all totally different.
Yeah, and it feels like it's something that you should be able to do very well, but oftentimes we end up seeing it be different.
Here come Quincy, smoked up.
Ready to party.
Yep.
We got Atos on the Viper and a DD just now wearing out, but I think that Old Yoda is
TP
about
bottom.
to lose his life again as, down bottom. They're going on Bloody Sky at the same time. Hit the break, tries to find the stun, will be able to get it while simultaneously killing the Witch Doctor over in the triangle.
Good call from UR there. He sees this Legion just pushed up too deep. He knows all he needs is a stun. Rupture, make sure that they can't TP out of the Rupture. Rise is also going to get found here, but I don't think they can do anything about the Void farming. They can at least force him away.
Just seeing his face. I
Getting
mean,
away. Rises.
Oh my god, is he gonna die?
Rises?
Oh my god, is he gonna die?
That's a, that's when you know the game's not going well. That's a bit of tilt, but they do get Quinn elsewhere, so a big kill going their way with the Sonic Wave, but they may pay the price.
Yeah, this is a dangerous one now, although they will be able to back out of there. And Witch Doctor ulti interrupted by MSS. That's going to keep your war alive for the moment. And, well, only for a moment. As everybody else moves back into position, they find the kill on the Bloodseeker. Okay.
A-Team just brawling their way back into this game. They still have a long way to go. They're still down 7k, but getting kills on both Quinn as well as Yuar is big for them. Rises instantly goes back to farming. It's one of those things where it looks like that was a good trade for A-Team, but it wasn't necessarily a trade. Like, Rises kind of just dies, like a kind of a tilt death where he should have just time walked earlier and just gone the hell out of there. He kind of let himself get stunned and silenced, but still, it's not hopeless.
It's also a rough position too, because like I imagine if he time walks away there, you could very easily just like throw the blood right wherever he landed, and then maybe rupture or whatever, and he might die anyways. But it definitely didn't look great. It didn't feel great, I'm sure.
MSS going to run into a sentry here. I think he realizes, based on Witch Doctor's movement, there probably is a sentry here. So I think he's in the know.
So they won't get those bounty runes, but they do secure the 2 down bottom, while just not really having the heroes that they need to do stuff on the map right now. It feels like it needs to be around Prince, I guess, and probably this next Chronosphere here as well.
Yeah, they're going to smoke with the Void. I think if you're Rises, you're saying, I'm willing to smoke and use a Chronosphere, but the second I don't have Chronosphere, all you want to do is farm right now, because you're really far behind. He may not even want to come use Chrono, unless he finds a kill right away, which he does see Leslau, but...
So hard. Jumps in. Hey, walks back. Mask up.
He's silenced. He's going to be careful.
Oh no. Atos has Chrono. Ooh, good dodge.
Nice and dodge.
Still okie doke. Now catching on to the other side. Zavo chases in. Quinn hitting on to the Queen of Pain at the same time. A pretty good ulti from Pango as, well, now they're leashed up as 2. Witch Doctor ulti on the other side, but the huge impale coming from MSS, and it completely fell apart there as they just did not have a way to stop that pressure. 11,000 gold lead at 16 minutes.
Yeah, they're trying really hard, I think, just to force things too much. They understand they're behind and they want to fight, but like Rise's blind time walking in. And both Void and Quap are just a little bit under level, especially the Void, because he's only got 2 points in time walk, so it's a very long cooldown he had to play around, which is why he couldn't re-engage. Queen of Pain, just level 2 Blink, dies because the cooldown is just way too long. If that was a level 3 or even level 4 Blink, Quap would have been fine.
Well, it was not, because he just basically didn't have a game this game, it felt like.
Yeah.
He's almost actually... He's the second lowest level in the game on the Faceless Void right now. He's below the Grimstroke.
Definitely one he's going to want to forget.
Tail comes out there. They'll connect. Flame Break push back onto both. The chase down continuing. They get the stun onto the Bloody Sky. 17 minutes in, and it feels like they are getting completely demolished. Your Quincy crew taking full advantage.
Rise is farming very close to the enemy team while silenced and with time walk on cooldown. Luckily for him, Quinn doesn't stun him, but it looks like Yuar will.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
Yeah, this is like the... No, he's gonna go for the TP.
Oh,
survive.
Barely. Okay.
Wait. Oh, he died? No!
What?
He is, well... He's tilted,
Yeah.
He's so tilted, he's just like lying down, He's playing in his bed, lying down.
Did he walk to his death in Fountain with Rupture on? Is that what happened?
Yeah, that is what happened.
Okay. Just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Damn.
attack.
Well, a 16,000 gold lead now at 18 minutes. And Quincy crew definitely doing everything that they need to lock this game down, as they're going to... I could go into Roche at any point if they want to. It feels like whatever they want to do, they're good with.
Yeah. I think they're, probably enjoying fighting. They're getting, same as last game, getting like 1.5 kills a minute just for their team alone. So they're looking just to keep killing people whenever they can, and A-Team just instantly smoke up. Not a team to just sit back and play from behind. They're always looking to fight themselves. They're gonna try and see what they can get here.
Both teams scanning. I think that Quincy knew where A-Team were going, and they immediately... Oh, no. Oh, purge off. Okay, thinking about the chrono. Still thinking about it. Does connect eventually. Now decides to run away. Oh, no. He gets flashed up to the other side. And that's going to be one kill. But they do get a good duel here. And the Witch Doctor ulti afterwards, but War destroys them. 5 dead. GG called. We knew it was coming. Quincy crew, just no mercy.
I'm sure there's probably some viewers who, tune in for Quincy crew, and this may be your first time seeing A-Team, and you'd be like, man, these guys, they look terrible. How they end up division? This game is not reflective of A-Team. A-Team, I mean, look at game 1. That, to me, is A-Team Dota. They played a good laning stage. They look competitive. And some of their previous series, they put up a good showing. This game here, this is one just to forget about. A-Team, I think, are just like, man, this Quincy crew team is too good. Like, you could tell their heart was not in this game. They were just out of it before it even began.
Yeah, and I think that that's something, again, to like, we've been talking more about this, like the break off in terms of skill level and like sort of team chemistry that exists between, the top 5 teams and those bottom 3 teams, and figuring out. And I think that this was one of the clearest examples of it, where people are saying this Quincy crew is maybe the team to watch out for across all of NA, as maybe the best team that exists there. And we're seeing a pretty clear skill demarcation.
Yeah, I think Quincy looked absolutely dominating. They're, to me, a team, like, if I see them going to the major and like contesting for like a top 6, top 4 spot potentially. At least I see them as I think they're top 8 team in the world, hands down right now. So definitely, a very tough opponent. I think for A-Team, it's just try and learn as much as you can, especially from game 1. I think that's a game where they can look at, like, they played a solid lane stage. What went wrong in the mid game? This game, probably just forget about.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our second series. We're going to head on back to the panel in just a moment. But first, quick break. Take a moment to just sort of relax and let all that madness get off of us for a bit. But we're going to go a quick break and we come back to the panel in a bit.
And with that, Quincy crew put on an unmerciful performance and take down A-Team 2-0 and continue to coast through the top of the NATPC until they do eventually collide with the other EG and Undyings of the group. But for now, gentlemen, game number 2, A-Team, they did what we were asking for. They did what they said they were going to do. The back pocket, they reached into it, they pulled it out, and we're saying, don't do that. Put it back in your pocket. Never pull it out again. Never pull it out again.
We don't want
it was hard to watch.
Get it out of here.
It was certainly hard to watch for them, and as GoDz has pointed out at the post game, and I would agree, not the A-Team we've come to watch for many of the other games. It felt like, as we were alluding to in the pre-panel, maybe trying to shake things up, try something a bit different. The early flex of the Pango, pulling out the Faceless Void later, very cute and something we were excited to see, but obviously as it's executed, it doesn't unfold, Suns fan, the way they had planned.
That was, excuse me, that was a mega shellacking, gentlemen. That's a new term we're going to be adding for
mega shellacking.
Very specific games where the shellacking is done to a very high degree. This just felt like, for the most part, a carbon copy of game 1, where Quincy crew came out of the laning stage having won all 3 lanes again. I mentioned the same thing. I'm just going to use the exact same notes from last game. At 15 minutes, all 3 of their cores, top 3 net worth. That's always a very good sign. And then obviously the Void, Mr. Rises, died a couple times in lane. That obviously frustrated him to a high degree. And I think GoDz put it pretty bluntly and correctly that he was really tilted. I mean, there's some mistakes he made. Like, I'm pretty sure the game was already over at that point, so it didn't really matter. But mistakes that you would not normally make unless you're just in your own head at that point.
Well, I got what I wanted watching that. I was excited for the series because I expected it to be, such a shellacking that we would have to come up with a new term for the shellacking. So that's definitely exciting. It was like watching a bunch of sharks rip apart a gazelle that fell into the old, African rivers. There's probably sharks in Africa there. Don't quote me on that, but something like
just
that.
Crocodile.
Okay,
crocodile. Just make it easy on yourself.
We'll do jaguars, crocodiles, something African there. It was good. I mean, it was just flawless Dota from Quincy crew as usual, and it's going to be something that A-Team can learn from. These are probably the best replays that they can analyze.
Yep. All right, and we are fortunate enough we have Laylis, it looks like, who's going to be joining us for the winner interview. Loving how each team seems to be cycling in each of the players. Laylis, I hope you can hear me. How's it going?
Hey, what's up? Doing pretty well.
What's up? Awesome. Great to hear. Congratulations, of course, on another successful series. Quincy crew continues to, as I mentioned before, plow through the division, holding that top spot. But, you know, now you've had the opportunity to take on five-man Midas and A-Team, some of the lower teams in this division. I want to ask, and maybe you've been in this position where you've gone against some of these better teams and you feel just totally outclassed. Do you have any words of encouragement for these teams who are like rising up, or players who are trying to take in these replays and learn a bit more? What can you say to the, you know, fellow region brethren who are trying to take it to the next level?
I think don't be disencouraged. I also, like, when everybody starts off, you start off on these low tier teams and you get spanked by the really good teams. It's normal. It's nothing out of. I mean, I've been there too, right? And I've been playing for a long time. You just need to focus on improving and trying to get good, and then good opportunities will come and you'll do better.
Awesome. And I, of course, have Suns fan and Jenkins here, and I apologize ahead of time for what happens after this sentence.
I have a burning question for you, my friend.
Oh, it's always
first of all,
burning.
congratulations on the series win. As many people know, your manager, or is even an owner now at this point, I don't even know what to call him, but the great Korean barbecue, otherwise known as Jack, has he taught you anything? Like, has he imparted any of his wisdom upon you? And if so, what would that have been?
Good answer.
Yeah, I mean, that question's kind of weird, but I don't think
Thank
so. I
you.
don't think anything specific. I can't recall anything right now.
Jack, you got to get your shit together, man. You got to teach them something. Jesus, these are young men. You got to shape. All right, that's my question.
Thank you for the disgusting question, Suns fan. Appreciate
Anytime.
that. Okay, Lilith, hello. Congratulations on the win. My question, I have two questions. Question one, at what point don't shake your head, Shannon. At what point do you turn off a replay and say, okay, this isn't worth watching anymore? Like, is it the one big mistake? Is it you just watch until the game is over? Like, what point do you just say, this isn't worth watching?
I think it kind of depends. Depends on if you won the game, if you lost the game. There's probably, like, when you're playing the game, a lot of certain points that you feel that something was wrong or something was off. You usually pay more attention to those things, and then small little details. Of course, you can look over everything, but you don't really look at everything in the replay every single time you watch one. It's usually you try to focus on one big thing, and if you can extract one big thing from that, that's really good.
Okay, one thing. Cool. Okay, what do you think the best Zelda game is, and why?
I think that's a tough question. I think Breath of the Wild is probably the best.
Hell yeah,
It's
my man. Okay.
All right, I
continue.
get a mulligan here. Jenkins asked
Oh,
two
God.
questions. I asked the really shit one because apparently Jack hasn't done anything for these young men. So my question to you is, what offlane hero do you wish you could play, but you knew, or you know that SVG, aka LOA, would never pick it for you? Is there a hero that comes to mind?
let me think.
Mulligans. Get bullshit.
I get as many mulligans as it takes. If you can
Yeah,
ask two questions
mulligan.
every time, Jenkins.
Don't hold the
I
players
don't know. I usually
hostage,
get to
please.
play all my heroes on this team, so
Oh, okay.
I usually like want to play something and you try it. So kind of open to
Good
new
stuff.
ideas.
Well, that's great to hear.
Super
We've
cute,
definitely
Shannon.
been treated to a bunch of different type of heroes. You know, even today on the Monkey King, we see Tidehunter play in the past. So it's been a real treat to watch you play and to, of course, watch Quincy crew play.
I'd like to ask a third question. I'm
Oh
just kidding.
my
Sorry.
goodness! If you don't mind,
No, go
Laylis, of
ahead.
course, you're happy to leave, but yeah. Do you
No,
really
I'm
have a
just kidding.
question,
Go
Suns
ahead.
fan? You pull my
I
leg.
have.
All right.
I have no question. I'm
It's gonna
sorry.
be
Leave me
garbage.
alone.
Don't-
What is your favorite food, my
Oh,
friend? What
come
do you like
on.
eating the most?
My favorite food is Brazilian barbecue.
Ooh, okay. Does that
All
cause
right.
any friction with your manager, Korean barbecue? Is there
I'm not.
beef
I
there,
don't.
no
I don't
pun
think he's
intended.
ever had it. He's ever had it.
Oh
So-
my goodness.
I've heard Brazil.
I like
Yeah, I've heard
Korean
it's actually
barbecue,
really
too.
good.
It's
Never
really
had
good.
that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Might force a name change, so maybe you should treat him for sure. But what I was getting at, it was a great question. Happy to hear the answer. But we eagerly await you as you play potentially against Evil Geniuses and Undying and such in the near future. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, of course, and answering some questions. Laylis, we wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Tell Jack to get his shit together, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Shout outs to Laylis for hopping on, and of course to Jack and Quincy crew on another big win for them. Gentlemen, let's quickly recap where we stand in the NADPC now that we have some more points delved out here. Today, everything went kind of as expected here with, of course, Sad Boys securing their series earlier against 5-Man Midas, and now Quincy crew securing their win. That means that we now have currently a three-way tie for the top of the pack with three currently best teams, as most would say. Quincy Crew, Undying, and Evil Geniuses. And then, of course, Sad Boys holding a good spot in the middle of the pack. They await, salivating on the sidelines in hopes that maybe one of these big three teams will choke out and a spot could open up for them. Same goes for Four Zoomers. And then we will also be treated later to a three-way dance potentially of Black and Yellow, 5-Man Midas, and A-Team. One of these teams is going to be able to stay in the upper division while the other two, well, they get kicked down the lower division if they don't disband altogether.
Well, that's harsh, but yeah, very true. Very
But
true.
very true.
It's
Just
very competitive
perhaps
from top to
brutal.
bottom. Excited to see as Jenkins continually interrupts me. That's his
Professional,
specialty. Very
professional.
rude. Okay, I'm done talking now, Jenkins. You
Oh, you shut up. I can't mulligan 3 questions. I keep talking.
I would like a
Fairfoot.
mulligan for this segment where Jenkins is just talking a bunch of bullshit as usual. Jenkins, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, guys, Lelis is right about Breath of the Wild. It's definitely the best Zelda game. Looking at the lower division, was it there for a second? I think it was. We just,
Lower division?
I think we looked at. It wasn't there. That was just upper. Okay, bring
No,
it back.
what's production bringing? What are they showing us now? They're showing us
go.
lower division.
Okay.
Let's visit lower division and see how things have been going. Well, 2Base still at the top 4-0, and the Cut still undefeated right behind them. The Felt, who are playing later this week, also hold an undefeated record. So look at this. It's kind of not too far from what we're actually seeing in the upper division. You have a top 3 that are kind of all circling around waiting to play each other. And then, of course,
Hey,
the
get
bottom
that off the
still
screen
looking
right
to win.
now.
But hey, for all the lower division fans out there, this is your current lower division recap of action. But yeah, you
Thanks,
happy,
Jenkins.
Very nice. Thank you, Dakota, for covering that.
Of course, of
Good.
course. What's important, though, is the rest of the week's schedule and what we've already journeyed through so far on this awesome week number 3. We just concluded Thursday, February 4th action here. Wins for Sad Boys and Quincy Crew, or not tomorrow, but Saturday. The broadcast returns with the lower division crew. That's going to be Arc Cryptic and Neff. They will bring you Dogchamp versus Jinghu and The Cut versus Simply 2Based. That's a series, folks. Check it out. The Cut versus Simply 2Based is going to be a battle for the top of the pack. The winner of that series may already guarantee a spot into the upper division. That's a one to look out for sure. And then the next day, we get Black and Yellow versus Four Zoomers, and then Undying versus Evil Geniuses.
Hype.
Huge hype weekend of NADPC. Huge hype.
then
And it's
Felt
only
versus
going to get more
Electronic
hype.
Boys as well. There.
Yeah, Phil.
There.
Yeah.
Right at
Felt
the end there,
good.
guys.
That's a big one because, Felt probably expected to win that one for sure. And if they do, they'll also be 3-0. And they would actually move up above, potentially whoever loses the series of The Cut for Simply 2Based. So
True.
lower division
true.
pretty hype too. Lower
Yeah,
division
it's
pretty hype
close. It's tight. It's tight.
Except for Arkosh, I think they're pretty much out of it at this point.
Yeah, well, they're
Absolute disasters.
They're
team.
garbage. They're garbage.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolute garbage.
yeah. I've been
too.
checking
Have mercy
them
on Gremlo and company, guys. Have mercy.
out. Travesty. What?
And it's only going to get better. This is the sweet thing about how this NADPC schedule happened to work out, because there's so many sweet, juicy matches, certainly in the upper division, that we have yet to even see. And the schedule is kind of being unfolded as we go. But, with stuff like Quincy Crew versus EG, Quincy Crew versus Undying, man, the weeks are only going to get better, gentlemen. So with that, we close out today on Thursday, final thoughts for today? I had a good time. Suns fan, how do you want to leave the people?
I think that we ask the best questions in our interviews versus any other panel in the DPC, regardless of region. Throwing that out there right now, you can't beat it.
Jenkins?
Yeah,
Favorite food? Who else is going to ask that? Honestly.
Absolutely nobody has the standards set low enough to ask something like that. I think that we should do a 4 mulligan rule. I think 3 mulligans isn't enough. I think we should set it to 4 on the record.
I like the players going to come on like, do you have 15 minutes to spare? Because they're going to probably hit you with like 9 mulligan questions. So be ready. Always, it's been a great journey so far. The players have been awesome to watch. They have been participating great on the media and the content. Be sure to follow along all the content as it comes out. NADPC League on Twitter. For Suns fan and Jenkins, Lyrical, and GoDz, we say goodbye. We'll see you back on Saturday for more lower division action. Take care.